Linden, Virginia, July 10th, 2013. On the evening of Tuesday, July 9th, 2013, at approximately 7:45 p.m., a combination of U.S. Parks Police, an arm of the DHS, raided Adam Kokesh's residence. Local Herndon police assisted in the armed invasion. The officers used a battering ram to knock in the door after 2 knocks and did not announce that they had a warrant. Immediately after the door was broken down, a flashbang grenade was deployed in the foyer.
Numerous police vehicles, including a light armored vehicle and 2 low-flying helicopters, barricaded Adams Street. More than 20 armored SWAT team members surrounded the house, as well as a number of detectives and plainclothes officers. Assault rifles were aimed on all members of the team as they were handcuffed without being told why they were detained. Masked and armored police in full stormtrooper gear flooded in and ransacked the residence. The team was cordoned in a front room while Adam was pulled aside for questioning. Over the course of the next 5 hours, the police searched every corner of the house with canine units and blueprints of the house obtained prior to the search. All officers refused to speak to the crew while they were being detained. They confiscated cell phones and personal items with force. Throughout the ordeal, the police repeatedly showed a volatile desire to initiate aggressive, forceful conduct with detainees. At one point, Adam politely requested to use the restroom and was kicked by the officer, forcing him to sit handcuffed on the floor. After hours of determined attempts, the safe was forced open and all items inside were confiscated. Adam was arrested and his crew were told he was being brought to the Herndon Police Department overnight. Well after midnight, police officers cleared the house. Fairfax County Adult Detention Center has stated that it has Adam in custody.
The Adam vs. the Man team will be continuing production on the podcast and the YouTube channel as long as Adam remains in prison for an act of civil disobedience. We will continue to spread the message of liberty, self-ownership, and the non-aggression principle, regardless of the government's relentless attacks on our operation. We will continue to combat its desperate attempts to crush a worldwide revolutionary shift in the people's understanding of the state's illegitimacy. After all, good ideas don't need to be forced.
In the Veterans for Peace national website, updated on January 2013, the national resolutions, it lists civil disobedience. Be it resolved that Veterans for Peace hereby declares that in the tradition of Henry David Thoreau protesting taxation for the Mexican War of 1848, and in the tradition of another great American, Martin Luther King Jr., protesting racism and the Vietnam War, Veterans for Peace recognizes the value of nonviolent civil disobedience as a necessary part of the struggle for justice and peace in these desperate times, understanding that there may be a high price to pay by individuals who act. July 11th, 2013, and Adam Kokesh is still imprisoned for committing an act of civil disobedience by loading a gun in Washington, D.C. Now, I'm not someone who advocates doing things like that. I've owned a gun in the past. I've had a license. I've done plenty of target shooting with my uncle, my best uncle. He was a Marine and an Army veteran. He passed away. And if he were alive right now, he would be up in arms. There would be a revolution. I just know it. Know it for a fact. So, I don't know, I kind of lived through him, and I kind of think to myself, what would he want me to do? What would he want me to say? How would he want us to react? And this is one of the things that I think that he would want me to do as a Constitution-loving American. He fought in the Vietnam War. He was against it. Near the end, he told us stories, and I'll never, ever support a war, any war. And I've, told my children I would like it if they did not join the military. Anything but that. Anything but that. I'm 100% anti-war, and I'm pro-Constitution. In 2008, when the writers went on strike, and we had a great big disaster. This used to be full of houses. Now there's nothing. I quit taking cable, and I discovered YouTube. So when the disaster happened, the police wouldn't let us back in our houses for 10 days, and they even had people at gunpoint. So we understand the police state here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Our Constitution has been violated over and over and over in this city. So the first time I ever saw a video of Adam Kokesh, it was him speaking at a rally. It was an anti-war speech, and he was an Iraqi veteran against the war, and I remember being, I really liked it. And I was warned, oh, he's a shill, he's a fake. And I thought about it, and I looked at some videos, and I was suspect, at first. And then I started listening to Adam versus the Man podcasts. And if he's a paid shill, well, then I'm enjoying it, because this is news that I can relate to. It's real. It's not sugar-coated. I want my podcast back. I really like the girls, though. They do a great job. But I would like it if they covered more news, like Adam, and keep us updated on his situation, but also keep us updated on the current events, because some of us don't watch Fox News or MSNBC because we've discovered the internet and we no longer subscribe to the mainstream media. Another thing is, I don't really like that the mainstream media is painting Adam as a pro-gun advocate. He is a pro-gun advocate, but he's also very pro-peace. And I would not listen to somebody 5 days a week if they were pro-war. There's just no way. And when I mean pro-peace, he's pro-peace all the way around. Adam Kokesh called on everybody to do this march in Washington, D.C., armed march, an armed peaceful march. And there was a lot of controversy and a lot of debate. Tensions were formed, enemies, friends were made. It's crazy. I still do not hear the end of it from some people. And, although I don't and didn't support the armed march on Washington, D.C., I did practice civil disobedience on July 4th. For 9.5 hours, I protested, and my feet hurt so bad that when I walked across the street over here to look at the fireworks on nubs, it felt like, and still didn't see the fireworks because the trees were in the way, I was not happy. But I was satisfied because I did my part, and I practiced civil disobedience, and it felt good. He's showing us that really the government doesn't care about our soldiers. They don't care about our veterans. What it really is, it's these rich people who, the whole world is their playground, and they don't want to send their kids to war. So hey, let's give these poor kids jobs. Oh shoot, they figured out that our money was fake. Now we've got to cut their school benefits, and we got to cut their breakfast, and we got to cut these benefits and cut those benefits. When our president just keeps on going on vacation. I just don't get it. Why are people not outraged? A veteran who fought for his freedom has no freedom. His house was raided. They threw bomb grenades in, and they sent masked stormtroopers with guns, surrounded the house, and then they kicked Adam when he asked to go to the bathroom. These are the people that swore an oath to the Constitution and who are supposed to be protecting the citizens of these United States. Instead, they're running around and abusing them, and in some cases, fingering them with the same glove, and others, women, doing cavity searches on the side of the road. This is disgusting. These people are out of control. They're like a cult. They're like a cult, like a gang. And they're not like us. They're in a world of their own. They have a whole other standard. Look at Branstad. He could go 90 miles per hour, but who cares? And the one good cop, he gets suspended? Give me a break. This is bad. So, 5 days goes by, and all of a sudden they're kicking this guy's door in, you know, scaring the heck out of everybody in the house. What do they think's going on there? Apparently there was some mushrooms there. Last I heard, you know, those were Schedule 1 drugs. So yeah, there's more victimless crimes, more lives ruined for the war on drugs. It's not a winning war. Alright, so who's the victim? I want to know. Who is the victim? Name one victim. In my eyes, Adam's the victim. Who is that? I want to know. How much did this cost the taxpayers to go down, break this guy's door down and steal his things and disturb his papers without even showing a warrant? They barged in without showing a warrant. They didn't even have the decency to do that. They wanted to terrorize him, and they wanted to terrorize him good, because that's what they are. They're terrorists. Why was the media there? Why were they informed before the raid? Aren't they usually informed like after the raid so that it doesn't compromise the investigation? You know, what is going on here? Why is law enforcement in Virginia and Washington enforcing unconstitutional laws? According to the D.C. versus Heller case, it is constitutional to have a gun on your person. I will always defend the Constitution. It is a timeless document, and the only reason people think it's outdated is because it hasn't been used, and it hasn't been used in a good long time. So there's some really upset people out here, and I bet ya these kind of things are just not gonna take place in this world without a fight from lots of people. And I hope that this video encourages people to do something, take action, and say something. So since I was told that I probably won't get to talk to a lawmaker because I don't live in the state of Virginia, well, the whole world is watching, and I'm watching right here from the first in the nation state, Iowa, and I'm going to have an issue with anybody who tries to run for president who would lock people up, especially veterans who have fought for their freedom, lock them up for expressing the freedom that they fought for. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. I appreciate the act that Adam Kokesh did, even though I didn't support it. I still appreciate him standing up for what he believes to be right and his constitutional rights that he fought for. And just keep up the good fight, and we'll just keep on going here.